At 76, Evelyn never worried about her legs, until one day they suddenly gave out beneath her. One moment, she was reaching for a book. The next, she was gripping the counter, her knees trembling. It wasn't just a bad day. It was a wake-up call. Aging can quietly weaken your legs, making simple movements feel unstable. But the right foods can restore strength, improve balance, and keep you moving with confidence. By the end of this, you'll know 7 superfoods that protect against sudden weakness. Let's get into it. 1. The muscle-strengthening power of eggs. Marie never thought twice about skipping breakfast. Mornings were always the same: coffee, maybe a piece of toast, and then off to start her day. It had been her routine for years, something she barely noticed. But lately, things had changed. By midday, her legs felt shaky, almost unsteady. Stairs seemed steeper, her balance felt off, and the long walks she once enjoyed now left her legs aching. At first, she brushed it off as just getting older. But then came the moment she couldn't ignore. One afternoon, while stepping onto a curb, her knee buckled slightly, nearly sending her to the ground. That little stumble sparked a realization. This wasn't just age catching up to her. Something wasn't right. Determined to get answers, Marie mentioned her concerns to her daughter, who immediately suggested seeing a nutritionist. At first, Marie scoffed. "I eat fine," she said. But curiosity got the best of her, and she booked the appointment. The nutritionist asked one simple question: "What do you eat for breakfast?" Marie hesitated, shrugging. "Mostly coffee," she admitted. Maybe a piece of toast if she remembered. The nutritionist nodded knowingly. "Your muscles need fuel," she explained. "Without protein, they don't have what they need to stay strong." And just like that, Marie's problem had a surprisingly simple fix. The answer? Eggs. Loaded with high-quality protein, vitamin D, and B12, eggs provide exactly what aging muscles need to stay strong. Protein repairs muscle tissue, B12 supports nerve function, and vitamin D helps with calcium absorption to keep bones sturdy. Without these essential nutrients, muscles weaken, recovery slows, and energy levels drop, leading to that wobbly, unsteady feeling Marie had been experiencing. Skeptical but willing to try, she decided to change her mornings. Instead of skipping breakfast, she started scrambling eggs with spinach, giving her muscles the fuel they needed to rebuild. Some days, she boiled a few eggs ahead of time for a quick snack, keeping her energy steady throughout the day. Within just a few weeks, something amazing happened. Her legs didn't feel as tired, her balance improved, and stairs weren't so daunting anymore. What amazed her most? The strength she thought she was losing to age wasn't gone. It just needed the right nutrition to come back. One small change, one simple breakfast shift, and she felt like herself again. 2. The leg-saving benefits of beets. Susan had always prided herself on staying active. Walking was her thing. Long strolls in the park, weekend farmers market trips, and an afternoon stretch around the block. But by the time she hit 75, something changed. Her legs felt heavy by midday, like she was walking through wet sand. Grocery trips left her drained, and she found herself looking for a bench to rest on more often than she liked. At first, she chalked it up to getting older. It was normal, right? But something about it didn't sit right with her. She wasn't in pain. Her legs just didn't have the same energy they used to. Then one evening, flipping through an article, a word caught her eye. Beets. She had never given much thought to beets before, aside from the occasional slice on a salad. But the article claimed they could boost circulation, reduce muscle fatigue, and improve leg strength. Could a simple vegetable really make that much of a difference? Skeptical but curious, Susan decided to give them a try. She started small. roasting a few beets and tossing them into her meals. The deep, earthy taste wasn't her favorite, so she experimented, blending them into smoothies with berries and yogurt. She even tried beet juice a few times a week just to see if it really worked. And then she noticed it, that dragging, sluggish feeling in her legs. It started fading, the mid-afternoon exhaustion that used to hit her like clockwork. Gone. She wasn't stopping to sit down as often, and for the first time in years, she walked through the entire farmer's market without needing to rest. The reason? Beets are packed with natural nitrates, which help dilate blood vessels and improve circulation. More oxygen and nutrients reached her muscles, preventing that heavy, sluggish feeling and keeping her legs energized throughout the day. It wasn't just about stamina. Better circulation meant fewer cramps, less stiffness, and stronger, steadier movement. Susan never thought a simple food change could bring back the energy she thought she had lost forever. But now, she's a believer. Beets weren't just another vegetable in her fridge. They became her secret weapon for staying active, independent, and moving with confidence. 3. The bone-boosting secret of sardines. Joanne always thought she was doing everything right when it came to keeping her bones strong. She added cheese to her salads, drank milk with her coffee, and figured that was enough. But when her legs started feeling weaker, tiring out faster than they used to, she knew something wasn't right. A trip to the doctor confirmed it. Her bone scan wasn't looking as strong as before, and the doctor gave her a reality check. Your bones aren't as strong as they used to be, and when bones weaken, legs follow. That's when he suggested something that made her pause. Sardines. Sardines? She wrinkled her nose. Couldn't she just take a supplement? But her doctor explained that sardines are one of the best natural sources of calcium and vitamin D, and unlike dairy, they also contain omega-3s, which help reduce a joint inflammation. He assured her that nutrients from real food are absorbed better by the body, and that if she gave it a try, her legs would thank her. Skeptical but willing, Joanne picked up a can of sardines at the store. She started small, straight from the can with crackers. Not bad. A few days later, she got creative and mashed them onto toast with a little avocado and lemon. Within weeks, she noticed something surprising. Her knees weren't aching as much when she stood up, and she felt steadier on her feet. It was a small change, but the results were undeniable. She never imagined sardines would become a regular part of her diet, but after feeling the difference in her balance, joint comfort, and energy, she realized something important. Sometimes the best solutions come from the most unexpected places. 4. The surprising energy boost from dark chocolate. Margaret had always been a coffee drinker, and she liked to enjoy a little piece of chocolate alongside it. It was her simple indulgence, a treat she never thought much about. Until one day, a conversation at her book club made her realize that her little habit was doing more for her body than she ever imagined. A friend casually mentioned how magnesium is essential for muscle function and circulation. If you ever get those annoying leg twitches at night, it could be a magnesium deficiency, she said. Margaret's ears perked up. Lately, she had been dealing with those exact twitches, along with sluggish, heavy legs by the end of the day. Curious, she did a little research and was stunned to learn that dark chocolate is one of the richest sources of magnesium, a mineral that prevents muscle cramps, reduces stiffness, and improves circulation. The more she read, the more it all started making sense. Magnesium helps muscles relax and recover, keeping legs strong, steady, and pain-free. Margaret decided to make one small change. She swapped her usual milk chocolate for a richer 70% dark chocolate to maximize the benefits. Within weeks, she noticed something remarkable. Her legs felt less fatigued. The nighttime twitching disappeared. And even after long walks, her calves didn't feel as tight as they used to. She had more energy in her legs than she had in years, all from something as simple as chocolate. But it's not just the magnesium that makes dark chocolate a leg-strengthening superfood. It's also packed with flavonoids, natural compounds that improve circulation by expanding blood vessels, allowing more oxygen and nutrients to reach the muscles. That means better endurance, less fatigue, and faster recovery after movement. Margaret didn't need to overhaul her diet or make drastic changes. Just a small daily habit made all the difference. Who knew that something so simple, something as enjoyable as dark chocolate, could support muscle health and prevent leg weakness? A little indulgence, when done right, truly keeps your legs moving with ease. 5. The green. You should be eating every day. Barbara used to roll her eyes whenever someone mentioned kale. That's for health nuts, she'd say, brushing off the idea that a leafy green could actually make a difference in her life. But after months of waking up with stiff legs, feeling unstable on stairs, and experiencing random muscle twitches, she started to worry. One evening, after nearly tripping on the curb outside her home, she finally decided to listen to her friend Joan, who had been raving about how kale had transformed her energy levels and leg strength. "Just try adding it to your meals," Joan said with a knowing smile. "What's the worst that could happen?" Barbara sighed but gave in. She started small, tossing a handful into soups, mixing it into her morning eggs, and even blending it into a smoothie with some banana and almond milk. She didn't expect much, but within a few weeks something changed. Her legs felt stronger, steadier, and less tense. The stiffness that once made getting up from a chair feel like an Olympic event. Gone. Those unpredictable muscle twitches disappeared. Even her balance, which she hadn't realized was slipping, had improved. It was subtle at first, but soon she realized. She felt more in control of her movements, more confident walking up and down stairs, and just steadier. It turns out, kale is one of the most powerful foods for keeping legs strong as we age. It's packed with calcium, vitamin K, and magnesium, nutrients that support bone density, prevent muscle weakness, and improve balance. Barbara had spent so much time dismissing it as just another trend that she never considered how much her body actually needed those nutrients. She couldn't believe that something as simple as eating more kale could have such a noticeable impact. But after feeling the difference for herself, she wasn't about to stop. What she once mocked, she now swore by. A little bit of kale here and there had changed the way she moved, the way she felt, and the way she saw her health. The takeaway? What you eat directly affects how steady, strong, and stable your legs feel. It's not about making huge sacrifices or forcing yourself to eat things you hate. It's about finding simple, practical ways to give your body what it needs. Don't ignore the power of simple greens. They could be the key to keeping you on your feet for years to come. 6. The simple drink that keeps legs strong. Emma always thought she was drinking enough. She had her morning coffee and afternoon tea, and maybe a small glass of water at dinner. That seemed reasonable, right? But then she started noticing something. Her legs felt stiff and sluggish. At night, she'd wake up with cramps in her calves, and walking long distances became exhausting. She chalked it up to aging, assuming it was just part of getting older. Then one afternoon, while out shopping, her legs suddenly felt heavy and weak, as if she were trudging through wet cement. It was unsettling. When she mentioned it to a friend, the response was simple. "You might be dehydrated." Emma scoffed. She wasn't that thirsty. But curiosity got the best of her, and she decided to track her water intake for a few days. The results? Shocking. She was barely drinking 3 small glasses of water a day. Determined to make a change, Emma started drinking a full glass of water before every meal and added electrolytes on particularly hot days. Within a week, everything changed. The tightness in her calves eased. She could walk longer without feeling drained. And most importantly, she stopped waking up in pain. It turns out, dehydration isn't just about being thirsty. It affects muscles, circulation, and energy levels. When you don't drink enough, your muscles tighten, causing unexpected stiffness and cramps. Poor circulation makes legs feel heavy, sluggish, and fatigued. And when cells don't get enough hydration, everything feels harder than it should. Emma also realized that hydration isn't just about gulping down plain water. She started sipping herbal teas like chamomile and peppermint, which not only hydrated her, but also soothed digestion. She ate more water-rich foods, crisp cucumbers, juicy watermelon, and sweet oranges. And after learning that a pinch of sea salt helps the body absorb water better, she added it to her morning glass. Instead of chugging a lot at once, she kept a bottle nearby, sipping throughout the day. The difference was undeniable. Her legs felt lighter, stronger, and full of energy. It was almost funny. Something as simple as water had been the missing piece all along. So if you've ever felt unexpected, leg fatigue, cramps, or stiffness, start here. Hydration is mobility. It's the fuel your muscles, circulation, and endurance need to keep you moving freely and pain-free. Sometimes, the simplest fix makes the biggest difference. 7. The spice that prevents leg pain. Carol never thought much about spices. Sure, she had a cabinet full of them, but they were mostly for cooking, something to sprinkle here and there without a second thought. But then her knees started aching. Not terribly, but just enough to make long walks less enjoyable. Some days, they felt stiff and swollen, as if her joints were resisting movement. One afternoon, while chatting with a friend over tea, the topic came up. "Oh, turmeric," her friend said confidently, as if it were the most obvious answer in the world. "It's a game changer." Carol was skeptical. A spice? How could something so simple possibly help with knee pain? But she was willing to try. That evening, she warmed up a mug of milk, added a pinch of turmeric, a dash of black pepper, and a little honey. The taste was earthy, comforting, and surprisingly pleasant. Weeks passed, and little by little, she noticed a difference. Her morning stiffness wasn't as bad. Her knees didn't ache after long walks. Even on colder days, when her joints usually felt worse, she moved more easily. Turmeric, as it turns out, is one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory foods out there. It contains curcumin, a compound that helps reduce swelling, improve circulation, and ease joint discomfort. The key, however, is pairing it with black pepper or healthy fats. This helps the body actually absorb the curcumin, making it far more effective. Carol started experimenting. She sprinkled turmeric into her soups, stirred it into warm stews, and even added a pinch to her rice dishes. On days she didn't feel like cooking, she took a curcumin supplement with black pepper extract to boost absorption. The results? Smooth, easy movement. No more aching knees after walks. No more stiffness in the mornings. A tiny habit, a simple spice, made all the difference. It's funny, isn't it? We often think solutions need to be complicated, but sometimes it's the smallest changes that help us move through life with ease and comfort. Keeping your legs strong isn't just about movement. It's about fueling your body the right way. With these 7 superfoods, you can protect against weakness, improve endurance, and stay mobile for years to come. Which one will you add to your diet first? Let's chat in the comments. And if this helped you, share it. Because strong legs mean a strong future.